Have you ever felt like you're just sick and tired of limiting yourself, of feeling limited, of feeling like you are missing out on doing the things that you've always wanted to do? I was just talking to someone several days ago, and they were sharing with me how fed up, how sick and tired they were of not doing the things they wanted to do. They want to start their own business. And because of his speech, he said that he's been holding back. There's things that he wants to do at work. There's times where he wants to speak up more and say more, but he doesn't do it because he's afraid or fearful that he might not be able to say all the things that he wants to say. And all of us have experienced this. I've experienced this. I even changed my major in college because I felt like if I went into, for example, psychology, which is what I wanted to do, that I would probably have to get a master's or maybe even a PhD in order to maximize my potential in that field. And I said, well, if I have to go and get a master's degree or a PhD, I'm going to have to do more speaking. And so let me change my major to political science. And so that's what I did. I have not applied for jobs because of my speech. I have not spoken up in meetings. I have not answered questions. I've not done a lot of things because of my speech. But here's the thing. Once you realize that there is a solution or that there are solutions out there that can help you to overcome this, everything changes. Everything opens up for you. Now, here are some reasons why people don't move forward, why they stay where they are. Number one, they're afraid that the solution just won't work. There are a lot of people out there who say that they have the solution, that they have a cure, for example, for stuttering, which is the area where I'm an expert. That's my area of expertise because that's what I experience. And so there are a lot of people that say that they have the solution, they have a cure, this is going to work 100%, they guarantee it. And then when you see this and you hear it, there's a normal doubt, right? There's a fear that, I don't know if I trust that. I've tried other stuff before. I've fallen for this before. I've spent money on this before, and it probably isn't going to work. I don't think there really is a cure, so it's not going to work. So one reason is that people are afraid that the solution won't work, and that's a legitimate fear. Another fear that people have is that they won't do the work. It's going to require so much that they won't have the time or energy, or that it's unrealistic. I have joined coaching programs or gotten videos or books or courses, and it required so much that I simply didn't do it. And I knew I wouldn't do it once I got into it. I said, you know what? This is possible. I do believe that people have achieved these results, but I'm probably not going to do the work that's required to achieve those results. And that's a shame, but it's a fact, right? It's a fact. It's a reality. And then a third reason is that we don't want to lose money or time. When you invest in a program, in coaching, or in a course, you're investing your money and you're investing your time. And you don't want to lose that over and over and over again. So these are all legitimate concerns, and probably stuff that you and I have experienced before. But here's what I want you to think about. If the thing that's standing between where you are now and where you want to be, let's say it's starting your own business, it's applying for a job, it's moving up in your career, it's having better relationships with your partner, with your friends, being able to go out and tell jokes and laugh and just feel relaxed and feel free. If your speech is standing between you and that, where you are now, and that reality, then doesn't it make sense to do everything and anything that you can to remove that barrier, to remove that obstacle? Now, we want to be realistic about this. And this is one of the reasons that for many, many years, in fact, when we first started Pro 90D, I gave away, and I still continue to do that, to give away some of the very, very best information I can. Why? Because I actually want you to try it out and experience some results before you invest your money into anything. Now, you're going to have to invest some time to watch, to listen, to put into practice. But I want you to do that with zero risk on your side, zero risk to you. So I want you to try it before you actually invest and buy it. And so that's been my philosophy for years. And in some ways it's hurt, and in other ways it's helped. But what I want you to think about, though, is that if you have a dream, you have a goal, you feel like there's so much more you can be doing in life, and the only thing standing in the way is your speech. And I want you to listen to what I'm about to share with you. And that is that you can do something to dramatically improve or transform your speech. Not only can you transform your speech, but you can transform your mindset, your thoughts, your emotions, what you think, how often you think it. For example, anticipating, worrying about, ruminating, looking back. You can change those things. You can replace those thoughts, those thought patterns with new ones. You can also transform your identity, your self concept, who you believe you are as a person. In fact, in Pro 90D, those are the exact three areas that we help you transform. Because even if you learn to speak smoother, even if you transform your speech, but you haven't transformed your mindset and even more importantly, your identity, as soon as you have a disfluency, as soon as you do what we call you have a bump in the road, you hit a bump in the road, and we all will, because everyone's disfluent from time to time. So you're going to be disfluent. You may just realize it or recognize it a little more than other people if you stutter or stammer. As soon as you hit that bump, your old identity, if it's still present, is going to say, hey, guess what? We knew this wasn't going to work. You're actually still a stutterer. You actually still struggle with this, right? And then you start to worry and you start to ruminate and you start to beat yourself up, and it pulls you back and it pulls you down. But if you've changed your speech and your mindset and your identity, then guess what? When you hit a bump in the road, and you will hit lots of bumps in the road, but they'll be less and less the more you transform your speech, your mindset, and your identity. But when you hit those bumps in the road, you'll recover almost instantly. Sometimes you won't even notice it. Sometimes it won't even bother you at all. You'll just say, okay, well, I just need to do this. Or you won't say anything. You'll just keep going like other people do. They hit bumps in the road. They stutter, they stammer, they get stuck, they repeat themselves, and or they use all kinds of filler words and so forth. Doesn't bother them, right? Doesn't bother them. So you can be the same way. You can experience that too. You can experience that kind of freedom, calmness, relaxedness, confidence to be able to walk into any situation and know that you can handle it. So if this is something that you want to do, there are lots of options out there. I'm presenting you with one that's been around for a very long time, more than 12 years. I've been doing this for more than 12 years, with over 50,000 students and thousands of coaching clients. But you don't have to listen to me. I'd like for you to try out some of the content that I have on your own. Look at the reviews and testimonials, but then choose for yourself and decide that if your goals and if your dreams and if helping other people, did you know that there are people out there who need to hear your voice? They need to hear what you have to say. That there are people out there who are hurting and in some cases physically being harmed or dying. There are inventions that are yet to come into fruition. There are different projects that need to be brought into fruition, right? But they're waiting for you. They're waiting for your voice. In fact, those people cannot be helped. Those projects, those goals, those dreams cannot be brought into fruition unless you do it. And so if the thing that's standing between you and that, between you and greater income, you and feeling more relaxed, feeling more calm, being healthier physically and mentally, if what's standing between you and that is your speech, then I want to challenge you to take a look at some of the things, at some of the resources that Pro 90D has to help you overcome, to help you literally remove those barriers. And in a lot less time than you can imagine. Imagine within less than 3 months, less enough, you've been struggling with this for decades, and in less than 3 months, your life can be transformed. Wow, isn't that worth your time and your money and your effort. I know what you're thinking. How can I be guaranteed that this will work? Well, the only way that we can guarantee something is if we're in 100% control over the actions and the behaviors, right? So if we guarantee something, we can guarantee that I will do this, I will show up, I will give you this, and that this will work as we said it will work. But what we can't guarantee is what you will do. It's what you will do. But what you can do is you can look at the years and years, decades of experience and other people's experiences. And more importantly, you can try this out for yourself and say, you know what? I've tried some of these techniques, I've tried some of these tools. This works. And if you do that, then the only step to take next is for you to invest your time and your money into removing those barriers so that you can live your very best life. So we have different options. We have private coaching, which is your fastest way. It's your fastest way to get to where you want to go. Why am I saying that? Well, you're probably saying that, Michael, because that's where you're going to earn more money. Well, you know what? I wished that I didn't have to do coaching and I could just have courses out there because it's scalable. So it makes more sense for me actually not to want to do coaching, right? But the fact of the matter is, and what we've seen over the years, is that with that guidance, with that evaluation and feedback, with that accountability, with that encouragement, you are able to accelerate. That is to speed up the time that you progress, sometimes by 10 times, sometimes faster. What I mean is that I've seen people work on their own for years and not get to the same place that you can get to working with us in just a few months, sometimes in just a few weeks, because we have experience and we can see things you can't see. We can help you stay accountable. We can give you evaluation and feedback, and we can keep you encouraged where most people would quit. Okay. We also have some self-study courses that where you can get started with those things at a much lower price point just to try it out. And that might be all that you need. So we encourage you to do that. So what I'm going to do is in or around this video, we're going to provide you with a few links for some things that you can start with. But if you're a professional and you have some interviews or presentations, important meetings coming up, or you're just sick and tired of struggling with your speech and you don't want to kind of spend years or months and months working and figuring out stuff on your own, even though the self-study is laid out very well, if you just want to accelerate that process, then your best solution, your best choice is to work with us privately. And I'll just give you a very quick example. Someone might say, well, that's a lot of money, Michael. Is it really? Is it really? I mean, we've had people within a matter of months actually come into the program, work with us privately, and get better jobs and earn many, many times over what they invested in the coaching. And this has happened so many times. Or people who are in sales. And I had one guy recently said he's number one now, and he's earned so many times over what he invested in the program. And we've had this happen year after year. I'm talking people earning $10,000 more a year, $25,000, $35,000, $40,000, 60. I mean, it just keeps going up. But not only do you earn it that first time in that first month, but you earn it year after year, and you get to take advantage of the fact that now you're positioning yourself to be more influential, more persuasive, to take on greater responsibility. So your income doesn't just go up that first year, right? But it goes up year after year after year for as long as you want it to, for as much as you want it to, because you now have a capacity, you have an ability, you have a skill that you're building, that you're developing over the years. Now, if that doesn't suit you, again, we have self-studies. You get started, you do the daily routine, and you start to see results. And once again, that may be all that you need to put you over the top. But my point is, get started doing something. Don't sit back there and doubt and fear and miss out on some of the greatest opportunities and experiences that you could have just because you doubted something that might have cost you some money. But if you just try it on your own, you'll see that it can work for you. You don't want to look back years and say, I wish I had have. I wish I had have done that. What if that would have worked? You just don't want to be in that position. So just think, 3 months ago, where were you? How was your speech? What were you struggling with, right? What were you feeling? 3 months from now, where would you like to be? What if 3 months from now you could feel free, you could feel confident, you could feel relaxed, you could be speaking up in meetings, you could be having more sales, you could be starting to start your own business, you could be out having better social relationships with your partner, with your friends, you could be laughing and talking and speaking up and saying all the things that you want to say. What if you could do that in less than 3 months? Well, I want to challenge you to take the step to do that, because it's not only possible, but it is probable that that will happen as long as you're willing to put in some time and work. Why? Because that's the way our brains work. This is the way we actually retrain or rewire our brains. You have to put in the effort and time, but it's realistic. It's stuff that you can do. Thank you so much for watching this. I just wanted to share some thoughts with you based on a conversation that I had with someone, and I just wanted to kind of pass this along. Hopefully, it will encourage you to take that step and don't sit back and wait. We'll see you soon. My name is Michael Williams.